Backlog! 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 Backlog!
Some more sound effects. Hey guys, welcome to the Backlog. Will, what's the Backlog?
The Backlog is a segment of the Wulff Den podcast where we go through our entire video game collection. Every game we have ever bought in our entire lives gets put to a little Excel spreadsheet right here. And today we're going to pick one at random and talk about it regardless of whether or not we played it. This is a collection of 975 video games.
I can't type. 106.
106. Star Wars The Clone Wars for the Gamecube.
Do I remember this?
I don't remember how we got this game or why we have this game.
I hit the wrong button. I don't remember this game at all. Oh, I remember this game. Do I remember this game? Am I confused with Rogue Squadron?
Maybe. This was an odd game because they touted it as like an on foot game and a vehicle game, but it was like 90% a vehicle game, and the on foot missions controlled like you were controlling a vehicle.
This is familiar to me, but I feel like I'm probably confusing it with Rogue Squadron.
Maybe
because we played the hell out of Rogue Squadron. Yes. Every Rogue Squadron game.
Yes, but this is not that. This is the.
But it looks just like it.
Yeah, because it's like of a similar era, the similar vibe. It's less spaceship and more like ground ship, like tanks and stuff.
Right.
I'm trying to find the Wikipedia page for it, but it keeps sending me to the cartoon. Here we go. The Clone Wars is a video game set in the Star Wars universe developed by Pandemic Studios for the GameCube, PS2, and original Xbox. Consists mostly of vehicle combat using clone warships, starfighters, speeder bikes, and tanks, as well as missions where you play as Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Mace Windu on foot. It is set during the prequel trilogy, with the first level encompassing the Battle of Geonosia from Attack of the Clones. Yeah, it's a primarily a vehicle combat Star Wars game where you fight through the Clone Wars as various different characters. I believe
literally I've been clicking around. This is 3 hours worth of gameplay by Long Play Archive.
Yeah.
This is the only clip of someone walking around on foot, and it's Mace Windu at the very beginning, 11 minutes into it. Every other thing I've seen is vehicle combat.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about this game. I remember when I first played it, I had known about this part where you play as Mace Windu on foot.
He also looks fucked up, and he's moving off. Look at his shoulders.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell. Like,
something's wrong.
He controls like the tanks. It's not like a true like one-to-one like on foot mission and like vehicular combat mission. It's all vehicular combat missions, and like the 3 levels where you play on foot, he controls like a tank. So it's a very poorly implemented.
Bug guys, it's like
this is
Watto.
Yeah, this is when you're on Geonosia, but I don't believe those are the Geonosians you're attacking.
This is weird.
Yeah.
Also, so on the bottom left of the screen, it shows you the health of the vehicle that you're in, and this is just a picture of Mace Windu.
Yeah,
in the corner.
Exactly.
This is so weird.
It was a very odd game. It wasn't a very well reviewed game. It really is like an unremarkable game.
Who made it?
LucasArts, Pandemic Studios developed it.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with Rogue Squadron.
No.
It looks the same.
I mean, it was probably going for a similar aesthetic. Because, this was still, when did it come out? Like 2002? So we were like a year out from Rogue Squadron 2. And like maybe like a year or two away from Rogue Squadron 3. So it's still fresh in everybody's mind. And I guess, they want to have a similar type game out for the Clone War, for Attack of the Clones when that came out. And like this, at the time, this is your way to actually experience the Clone Wars proper, because the cartoon hadn't come out yet. And the movie had ended with the start of the Clone Wars, and Revenge of the Sith started with the end of the Clone Wars.
I am now looking at Rogue Squadron gameplay because I'm trying to see why this game looks familiar. So you're assuming we got this after our time with the GameCube, like.
No, we got it like within the GameCube era, We did not get it in 2002. That I could say for certain. We definitely got it towards the end of that era.
I don't. So Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike has on foot missions.
Yes, but it actually has like on foot missions. It has a decent collection of on foot missions.
Right.
Like the Clone Wars only has like 3, and it touts itself as being like both.
Have I not played Rogue Squadron 3?
Probably not. It's not. It's nobody's favorite Rogue Squadron.
I'll have to play it.
Yeah.
This has a lot of on foot missions.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember this. Clone Wars looked familiar, but something about it looks familiar, but I don't think I've played that.
Yeah. I mean,
but which is strange because I loved Rogue Squadron 2.
Yeah.
I was a big Rogue Squadron 2 guy. I played the shit out of Rogue Squadron 2. So us getting Clone Wars and me never playing it is weird. Especially if it's that similar.
Yeah.
That similar looking. It probably plays like ass.
It was not a very remarkable game. I can't really tell you anything about it other than that it was a vehicular combat video game. The levels are unremarkable to me. I have no recollection of what the story was, who your primary character was. Not that it matters, because the story was rendered non-canon almost immediately when the animated series came out. Mm-hmm. So it does don't even bother with that.
So Metacritic 73, and then the user score was 6.9. So not very remarkable.
Yeah. The big thing about this game was that it had Xbox Live. So and it was a packing game with a lot of people's Xboxes at the time. So I know there was a lot of people who have nostalgia for it because it might have been their first Xbox game because it literally came with their Xbox.
Okay.
But other than that, it's nobody talks about this game. This is not one of the more well-remembered Star Wars games.
People in the chat are saying that it's good for co-op.
Well,
so I'd imagine it's probably similar to Battlefront.
Yeah.
But play Battlefront.
Yeah, in that regard, there's other better Star Wars games you could play vehicular co-op with. Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike actually has all of Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader as its co-op mission.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Also, it has stuff that's not just from the prequels.
Yes.
Which is probably why I wasn't a big fan of this game.
Probably.
Don't play it. Play other Star Wars games.
Yeah,
this
is a skip one.
Especially around this era.
Yeah.
You got all the Rogue Squadrons.
Yeah, the Rogue Squadron games.
Battlefront,
Yeah. The Starfighter games on PlayStation were probably better. That was prequel era dog combat games. So those were still more well regarded than this one.
Right. So
and if you're more interested in the Clone Wars, watch the cartoon. That actually is okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any good prequel games.
No, there's gotta be. I know people like the Revenge of the Sith game. No, Episode 1 Racer and Battle for Naboo. Yeah,
Episode 1 Racer. I'll take Battle for Naboo.
Yeah, that was basically Rogue Squadron, but with a prequel palette swap on N64.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't remember that.
We had that.
We had that.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was a good one.
I'm thinking of the Starfighter that was in Rogue Squadron.
Oh, the Naboo Starfighter.
Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching the Backlog, everybody. Tune in to the podcast one of these days. Otherwise, bye.
Bye.